Many organizations around the world collect migration data using their own unique methods. While the result is a large amount of data, finding the exact information you need can get complicated. To create a one-stop shop for migration data, the International Organization for Migration's Global Migration Data Analysis Center launched the online migration data portal in 2017. This single platform brings together data from many sources we've looked at on this channel before. The portal, however, has been actively seeking feedback since its launch, and this input has shaped the website's new look. So let's see what improvements have been made. There are multiple agencies working to maintain, improve, and finance the portal. Besides the IOM's Global Migration Data Analysis Center, the Economist Intelligence Unit and the UK government provided initial guidance and funding. Currently, the German government provides funding along with the Swiss government. Additionally, these organizations on screen gave input during the portal's announcement in Berlin in 2016. Now let's look at the newly upgraded portal. The homepage already looks different since the interactive map no longer shows up here. This is a result of feedback the IOM received from users who did not intuitively know how to work the map. Instead, the homepage has a selection of multimedia resources giving content about migration data. These include videos, expert opinion articles, top 5 lists of data themes and pages, and sections with tailor-made information for policymakers, journalists, and national statistics offices. However, the interactive dashboard the portal is known for has not disappeared. We can access it under Data menu at the top of the homepage. We see that there are 4 different options to explore the data, and the dashboard will change according to which option we choose. Let's take the first choice, International Data, as an example. Here is the interactive map that categorizes the data portal. We see that after the upgrade, filters for data type, region, and year have moved from the left side to the top of the dashboard. By default, the indicator we're viewing is International Migration Stock in the year 2020, but there is an extensive section of other indicators to explore as well. Since there's no selection for the geography filter, we are therefore viewing filters for every country with available data. Looking below the 3 filters, we see a chart title that explains what data we're viewing. The 2 subtitles show us the data source and the most recent date when the information was updated. The data itself is presented visually as circles. Countries with larger circles have a larger stock of international migrants. Moving your mouse over a circle will create a pop-up with the country's estimated migrant stock as a number. Let's click on the United States and scroll down below the map. Here we can see more detailed information, including the country's migrant stock over the past 30 years in the figure to the left. The top 5 ranking on the right side, however, is not specific to the United States. It instead shows the countries with the top 5 largest and bottom 5 smallest international migrant stocks globally. Continuing down the page, we see a broad collection of indicators specific to the United States, complete with explanatory titles, the data source, and time period. Now, let's look at a newer aspect of the dashboard, national data. This allows us to look at data from regions within one country, instead of generalizing about each country as a whole. In technical terms, this increases the precision with which we can measure migration trends. This part of the dashboard is still in a pilot phase, showcasing just 4 countries, so keep an eye out for when more countries are added. For now, we can use South Africa as an example. In the map, we see the country with 9 sub-regions. This means that we can see what parts of the country's immigrants settle in, and from which areas emigrants are leaving. Remember, this data is still about international migrants, so we cannot see, for example, internal migration trends. Let's look at one more new aspect of the portal, comparisons. The dashboard now lets us compare data in 2 ways, by geography and by indicator. Comparing by geography means selecting one indicator and observing how it differs between multiple countries. You can select this option on the sidebar and the dashboard will reset. Then choose an indicator, geographic region, and year from the filters at the top. just like before. For example, let's compare Canada and Japan's inflow of migrant workers. We'll keep the default period as it is for now for this example, so we can see how things change over time. The dashboard generates a color-coded graph for us, with each point being the number of migrant workers entering each country per year. We see that more migrant workers enter Canada every year than Japan, but this number has been steadily increasing in Japan since 2013, while there is more fluctuation from year to year in Canada. Now, comparing by indicator is just as straightforward, so let's choose that option from the sidebar. In technical terms, what we can do with this comparison is disaggregate data. Simply put, we can look at what groups compose larger indicators like total migrant stocks for a country. To practice, let's compare two types of immigrant flows to the Netherlands: total and free movement inflows. The Netherlands is part of the Schengen Agreement, which guarantees freedom of entry for all citizens of Schengen countries in Europe. As such, people entering the country under this agreement would be counted in both total and free movement inflows, whereas citizens of non-Schengen countries would only be counted in total inflows. We can see that the most recent year where we have data for both indicators is 2013. Here, of the total 129,000 migrants immigrating to the country, 65,000, or roughly half, did so under the Freedom of Movement Agreement. With these international and national level statistics, plus the ability to compare data, the Migration Data Portal is a powerhouse resource for all audiences. Especially with the recent upgrades based on feedback from current users, the portal is now more straightforward to use than ever before. So jump in and start exploring today. Thank you for joining me for this explainer video. Please give a thumbs up and leave a comment, and I hope you'll subscribe to my channel if you've not already. See you next time.